Hi, this is János, it's Real World Audio, and I'm continuing that train of thought whether we should build LePetit or build a Voigt pipe. And that was started by Eric as a comment on my video on Sheldon's Voigt pipes. And there's a lot of exploration going on about it, and now let's reach Dan's comment. And then is giving, I think, the best overview and best advice for Eric. And I just read it out first. I've built János's pipes and they are fantastic. They are actually cheap and easy to build, and also make a great first project for French polishing too. However, they are truly not for every room, as has been said here more than once. To say they are a statement in the room is a huge understatement. And that's just the aesthetics. They need some space to sound big. Okay, so I stop here for a moment, and yes, definitively, once you put the Voigt pipes in your room, it's going to change the dynamics of the room quite a bit. And as you can see here in the picture, they really change the appearance of the room. And one more thing to say, that many of you now will say that it's going to have a very bad impact on your wife expectancy. Wife acceptancy factor, not wife expectancy. So wife acceptancy factor. But this is what I noticed, is that so far every woman, every female audiophile and non-audiophile who have seen my Voigt pipes, they were in favor of them. And when asked whether they favored them or just a traditional book, either bookshelf speakers or floor standers, all of them said that they would rather have these nice wooden Voigt pipes in the living room compared to some strange high-tech looking speaker that looks like, you know, some toy for a boy. And these look more like heirloom furniture, and they can go really well with the design of your room. And I more often than not have seen huge thumbs up from wives and spouses in favor of Voigt pipes. And those friends of mine who built Voigt pipes, they never had a problem with their spouses. So none of them said they don't like it. All of them were either pro Voigt pipe or just neutral about it, as about most of our audio projects, whatever, let him play. So, and the other thing about that is that even though they're going to have an impact because they are tall, they are as tall as we are when we are standing, however, they do not take big floor space. So we have the comment, where was it? I'm just going to scroll down. I think it was down there. Ramsey Edward asked, what's so special about these Voigt speakers other than taking huge space? And then Optimize answered him that actually they are, I just thought the opposite, that it's taking small floor space, and I can second that. It takes up less floor space than LePetit. So if floor space is something for you that you are mindful about, Voigt pipes take up as little space as the smallest bookshelf speakers, because their footprint on the floor is very, very minimal. So even though when you look at them, and they are really tall, but their footprint is really tiny. So here it's like 25 centimeters by 30 centimeters, or even a little less than that. So it's not much. So it's like 8.5 inches by 12 inches, 12.5 inches, something like that. So they take up very, very little floor space. You can put stuff behind them, and you can access it. So if you have a wider, bigger, bulkier speaker that's only this high, you have a problem going behind it and reaching your records. And what I noticed living with my Voigt pipes, even though they are tall, if I pack records behind them, I can access them much more easily compared to having a wider or deeper speaker here. If I have a regular floor stander, they are much deeper. Also, many bookshelf speakers nowadays, they are kind of deep, and they limit much more the access to reach behind them. So even though your bookshelf speaker, which is deep or wide, it's on a stand, but it makes it much more bulkier to go behind the speaker and reach for the records without tipping it over or being afraid to touch it. You'll have really hard problem. With a Voigt pipe, that's no problem. It has not been an issue for me. So that's why appearances are tricky. So even though they will definitively impact on the looks of your room, but look, in this case, there's a really nice color and style matching with the room, with the fireplace. I think it's beautiful. And however, so that's just the visual part, but in the practical part, I found them much more practical than floor standard speakers or big bookshelves. And also another thing when you think about Voigt pipes or LePetit is that with the LePetit, even though they sound kind of very mature and big, but they don't give you low bass. So what people do is that they often supplement them with subwoofers to get, for example, if you want to listen to church organ, then yes, it will give you a beautiful church organ, but the pedals will be missing. With the Voigt pipe, you won't need an extra subwoofer, the pedals are there. So so that's one thing for that. And then let's go back to Dan's comments, because he said the LePetit, however, are very happy in lots of different spaces and look great. So basically what's happening is that for Voigt pipes, if you want to build a Voigt pipes, you need a room that is happy to play with them. So when we look at Sheldon, look, his room, he has a nice open room, so here there's no clutter with furniture around. It's nice open space between the speakers. They will be very sensitive. If you put stuff in between them, if you make this crowded, they will not like that, no, but they won't reward you with that at all. And also you need a length of the room to have that deep bass. If you put them in a small room, the lowest octave will disappear and they will start to sound skinny. So that's why for smaller rooms you definitely need the bass reflex cabinet, and the LePetit is a bass reflex cabinet. And I'm going to show you another room. So this was Sheldon's cottage, and there, is it? No, it's not in focus. Oh, okay, sorry. So in the cottage you see that there's like very high ceiling. It's a long room, and this is just perfect. This is gorgeous. If you have this type of situation, then I would say Voigt pipe. But when you have a smaller room and you don't have a nice ethereal space, then the LePetit will be a more practical choice. So basically, I would say, first and foremost, it's your room that's going to define which one you want to build. And then second is that if the room allows, then the Voigt pipe will give you I would say, an octave lower presentation. So it will give you also the church organ's pedals, while the LePetit won't give you the pedals, but otherwise it will give you very nice sound in the range that it's able to work with. Yeah, so I think, and also what Dan said, he could make this comparison because he heard both of them, and he is going to build a pair of LePetit as well to have in the side room, with having the Voigt pipe in the big room. And that's kind of my idea too, to have both of them and try them out. And maybe I do not have an idea where the LePetit will be in their final place. I think I might be able to bring them to work, and maybe I will have them at work with me to have nice speakers. Yeah, there as well. So Eric, I would think that as you already have the Fostexes, the FF125WK, I would go and try the LePetit. Or if you want to, I will be doing now my version of LePetit, my take on LePetit, and that will bridge the gap halfway between original LePetit and the Voigt pipe. So this is going to give the ability to take the bass extension quite a bit, significantly lower than the LePetit cabinet can take it. And it will also retain that feature that it will work well with most rooms. So it will have the flexibility to play in any room, and with the port that I will be making it in a configuration that it will allow even, oops, we don't see any focus, I'm sorry. That's why I have to watch my camera. I've been watching the computer screen. So now this is a little segue here, that I often get the criticism that I'm not looking at the camera, that I'm looking to the side, and that's because I'm looking at the screen of the camera just to double check that everything is in focus and it's still recording. Because if I don't, then mishaps occur, like the ones that have just occurred because I was not looking at the camera, at the screen, but I was looking at the monitor, at the laptop screen to read what's in there. So that's why, and that's why it's not a good idea to kind of, yeah. So anyway, getting back to answering about LePetit versus Voigt pipe. So if you want, Eric, then you can build my version of LePetit. I don't know exactly how it will compare to the original LePetit. That will be Jürgen's task to think about, because he will be also building that. Actually, we are brainstorming with Jürgen at the moment, and what we have decided is that we are going to build two versions of the bigger or LePetit, or we were also thinking of calling it like the 21st century LePetit. And I decided to call mine La Grande, like not the small one, but the big one, as a kind of like a play with the words, with Jean Hiraga's design, and just because this will be significantly bigger cabinet than LePetit, but roughly the same floor space. So if you originally have an idea where you are going to put the LePetit, you need about the same space for my version as well. And Jürgen's will be the size between the two of them. so halfway between LePetit and my cabinet size, and his will be an easier build, and mine will be a build for those of you who are truly nuts, and you want to go all out. But I will make it actually easy for everyone, and I won't just give a cabinet build and this is it, and God spoke or something like that, something stupid like that. But I will walk you through my thought process, why I made those choices, how I make those choices, and when I build it, I will show along the way. If you want to build it simpler, where can you do it? Or if you want to build it as complex or even more complicated than I do, I will also share that, and I will also share what it contributes to the sound, how it will change the end result, whether you want to go there or not, or whether it's worth for you or not. So I want to make La Grande a flexible project for that's doable by all of you, and it will be fun for those who are first time loudspeaker builders. That's your first woodwork job, and it will be fun for those of you who've been building speakers for maybe like 10-20 years and you still want a challenge for you. Yeah, I know this sounds a little bit ominous, but it will be fun. So that's what Eric said. It is my first build. It will be fun no matter which way I go. And that's that's what my take is on it. No matter which one, no matter which way you choose, Eric, it will be fun. I would say that as you have the drivers for LePetit or La Grande, play around with them, and then after that build the Voigt pipe too, if you think this is fun. So thank you guys for your comments, and I hope this little episode was a little helpful to make it decide whether you want LePetit or you want to go with the Voigt pipes. And one more thing is that I mentioned before that LePetit ruthlessly unveils what the amplifier, what your source does to the sound. These new builds that I will be proposing and Jürgen will be proposing, they will unveil them to an even greater degree. And the Voigt pipes also do the same. I think the Voigt pipe reveals your sources even more than LePetit does. So that's another consideration. That's not kind of something that, oh, I don't have good amplification. I'm worried that LePetit will unveil what kind of problems we'll have, so I will build the Voigt pipes rather. Then that's not the way to go, because the Voigt pipes will reveal the problems even more than LePetit. So in that case, LePetit will be a better choice, and Jürgen's version and my version also will reveal more of the quality of the amplification sources used than the basic LePetit build. So if you are confident with your sources, that's when I recommend to go with them. Or what you can also do is just, well, I stop right now, otherwise the camera will not make this video. Bye bye.